What's up, my XRP brothers from another mother and my cute XRP sisters? This is Rob with the Rob 007 channel coming to you from beautiful Venice Island. Absolutely gorgeous day down at the beach. 5 out of 5, and the title of this episode is the XRP Gold Fish Bowl is about to get really crowded. What that means for your price, watch this episode to the end. I am super fired up to the extent that, yes, I'm wearing my NASA hoodie, kind of going casual because, guys, it is go for launch. Truly believe it. The excitement is building up in this space. And thank you as always. We're headed up towards 8,000 subs. So videos are doing great. Thank you so much. We're getting over 10,000 views per episode and 1,000 likes. I appreciate each and every one of you. But indeed, if you are new to this channel, if you would hit the subscribe button to subscribe, the bell for notifications, that like button, tap it, slap it, whatever you are feeling for a Friday. The weekend is here. I'd slap it because the markets are pumping. And disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. This channel is for educational and entertainment purposes only. And congrats to Brad Kimes getting his YouTube channel back. That did not take him too long. So glad to have you back, brother. And also, don't forget about the fine folks at iTrustCapital. I'm so excited to be working with these guys. The big, how do you beat this? 0 fees for custody. 1% on to execute a trade. Are you kidding me? And they will be bringing out an ROI on your XRP to boot. You can cold storage over there. It's institutional grade. And when you sign up, they give you a Ben Franklin, a $100 bill. You do have to use the code when you go over there, Rob 007. And also, don't forget about the fine folks at Caleb and Brown. I'll be interviewing Jim Balzini on this channel on Wednesday. That you guys have questions for him, we can get them in front of him and get some fun answers, get an update. They got so many exciting updates. I love them too. Again, 0 custody fees, institutional grade. They are insured, and then you can pick up the phone and talk to them in person. You got your own broker. You can pick up the phone at iTrust too as well. And then my favorite reason, and I'm gonna place some orders like real soon, like maybe this weekend. I'm going to start to lock in some orders as we start to have the banana zone, and I'll tell you why I'll be putting them in. It only takes about 48 hours to set up an account. And the reason why I would say place your orders, because the exchanges are also going to have a problem when you go to execute a trade. They freeze up. Just all sorts of stuff. So anyway, links in the description. I am going to lock in some orders this weekend for some some sell orders. A lot of fun. And also, don't forget about the fine folks at Kraken. They double your fund now. You get $150 when you open up an account. So if you get an iTrust and a Kraken, it's $250 left on the table, money for nothing, and your chicks for free. Link is in the description. I love these guys. I actually always like doing a trade on a daily basis over there because I can get a tight trade. And my favorite, that ROI on your XRP, OMG. I'm locked and loaded on that. So excited to have my chessboard already loaded up for this. Just email me your name, number, and a good time to call you. Emails in the description. Be leery of the imposters on this channel. There's so many, as well as up on Twitter. Probably my biggest reason that I like them, they're absolutely the highest grade of institutional custody you can get on the planet. And I do mean the highest. So anyway, if you're interested in that, call me. Please be patient as I catch up with you guys on my list. Also in the comments, Papa says, every time XRP goes down, I buy more. And you know what, Papa, this might be the last time that you can enjoy doing that. And I truly mean that. And a shout out to Serena, living in paradise in beautiful Bermuda. Be still my beating heart. Delightful to speak with you, and congratulations again on having the presence of mind. I get so excited every time I hear a story where someone comes in and they accumulate and they got this nice bag. And then so her, and shout out to Serena and her mom, by the way. So look forward to possibly meeting you someday in person. And also in the comments, Abundance Grace, I like that name, says XRP to 1,000 soon. They are accumulating. Currently, we got Bitcoin trading at 101, 142. It is flat on the 24-hour, and XRP is $2.24. I think it's moved up to about 230 since I last had written that down. But a bunch of stuff's popping off. I mean, a lot of them are. Algo is up 16% thanks to the Rob report. Doge was up 11. Litecoin was up 16%. And also, it's alt season. Yeah, when things are really popping up big. Can you take Zcash, the symbol is ZEC, that's an old token, up 33% on the 24-hour. You know that you're entering the banana zone, because I'll never forget back in November of 2020, after I'd been in XRP for just about 48 hours, I woke up in the morning, there was a 42% green candle, and I said, oh my gosh. And held hostage, yes we are again. We are day 38 of the shutdown. There was a vote. I don't know the outcome of that vote, or is it pending one? Yes, that's holding back, so many things, being the economy, rate cuts, and also right around Thanksgiving. What are these guys thinking when the skies are going to be crowded? That's not a good situation, very dangerous. I wish they'd get in room, just get this done. Just do the one that passes with no pork belly in it, please, and be done with it. So anyway, so yeah, the hostage continues. I did see on PolySign Markets, they got a 57% chance it's not going to end until November 21st. Some think it will last till December 1st. At this point, go ahead and let it last another few weeks till December 1st. Yeah, and also Clarity is it. And that's also holding back the Clarity Act. I've been watching a lot about that. And again, the overwhelming consensus through Swell and so much is that banks will not embrace it until that Clarity Act goes into effect. A lot of speculation. I will go on a limb, say that Clarity Act will be signed into law by the end of the year, if not by December 12th. At that point, they're going to have how many days it takes before it goes effective. I'm going to give a really big range, anywhere from 30 days all the way out to 180. 180 would be end of Q2, end of June, and of course, I'm kind of hoping that we have it no later than the end of March, which is not that far off. Yes. So we'll see how that happens as well. And also the thing with the tariffs, because that's under an emergency review. Hopefully that works in our favor. So, shout out to the Gold Whisperer. That is Blue up on beautiful Cedar Key, living the life up there. Yes, enjoyed our chat last night. He actually called and wanted to chime in last night. So he actually says that this bull run, or this phase we're at, is going to top off November 22nd. Yes, he is a trader from Wall Street, been in the pits, and he says most of the time people will pack up their bags, go home, and they have to pay for a little thing called Christmas. I think the average Christmas tab's about $1,000 or $1,500. So we got 3 weeks to enter the banana zone. So yes, I'm kind of playing both sides of the fence. That's why I'm thinking I'm going to put in a couple of sell orders right around here. I'll be watching the price, see if I get lucky on a couple of wicks, take a little cream off the top. But Blue, he actually is calling for XRP to reach a range of, between now and those 3 weeks, anywhere from a low of $6 all the way up to a high of $20. And he says that $100, that beautiful 3-digit XRP, he thinks it's not going to happen till 2026, well into 2026. He's calling for November of 2026. He cites that the banks are slow in adoption. I'm going to take the contrarian point of view with you on that, Blue, being that I think it's far from it. I think the likes of Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and SBI, Santander, there's 4 huge banks are RTG ready to go. Of course, SBI and Santander are abroad, but this Bank of America, the number 2 bank, Wells Fargo, the number 3. Bank of America clears 10 trillion. Wells Fargo clears about 7 trillion on a daily basis. They've been ready for to say they've been ready for a long time is an understatement. I can roll back 5 years ago. There was a conversation with a vice president of Wells Fargo up in Utah, who actually was on record talking to another one in private, saying that that they were ready to go. They were running both Swift and ISO 220, running Ripple on the side, ready to go, just ready to plug and play. So they were testing them side by side, just waiting for the clarity to happen. So I think it's here. And also keep in mind is that you don't need, there may be, like 11,000 banks with Swift nation worldwide, but keep in mind that the majority of all the wealth, all the money, global money, just moves through a handful of banks. I'm not sure the actual number, but it's like 70% or big, huge 80% runs through just a handful of banks. I think that, and they're banks like Bank of America and JP Morgan. So that's one. And then the other thing is, think about the acquisitions we have had. They have been nothing short of breathtaking, fast and furious, that so much has happened in such a short period of time, where they're doing acquisitions, where they are buying the infrastructure, like the prime broker Hidden Road, which is now Ripple Prime, Evernorth, and also per Rob Cunningham. Shout out to you, Rob, again, great chatting with you. He thinks that Evernorth will act as the global liquidity hub for large corporations. So there's another indicator. Last but not least, let's talk about that Christmas again. Average retailer holds about maybe between 2,000 and 5,000 XRP. And so if Christmas costs $1,000, $1,500, yes, there are people in retail that are going to have to sell their XRP 100%, including perhaps yours truly. And also, but when you get over to the financial titans on the institutionals, with the institutions and the bankers, you're talking about accredited investors that have a net worth anywhere from $1 million to $5 million to $100 million and upwards, and 300. Remember, there are 59 millionaires around the world, and there are 2,800 billionaires. So does $1,000 or $2,500 or $5,000 for Christmas make them need to sell their XRP? No, they're going to buy it. And I got a beautiful analogy which I'm going to share with you as well. Last but not least, just looking at the sheer size, current crypto market's about $3 trillion. New York Stock Exchange, it's 10 times that size. It's 30 trillion. And so yes, with 3 trillion, so we could easily see this market swell to 10 trillion, 20 trillion, maybe even more. So we'll see how that works. And here's that analogy that I love. So when you think about this, this is the transition I think that we're going to see happening. That is that XRP Goldfish Bowl. Imagine you got a goldfish bowl and you got 20 cute little goldfish swimming around in there, and they own a token called GFF. That's your goldfish flakes. They have about 10,000 goldfish flakes in there for them to have for dinner, right? All of a sudden, once the financial institutions start to come in, those accredited investors, they can buy XRP as a spot ETF. It's like pouring another at least 20 goldfish in there, 40 goldfish in there, 100 goldfish in there, maybe an extra 200 goldfish in there. Guess what? Trying to eat those same 10,000 GFS goldfish tokens, goldfish flake tokens as well. What is that going to do? Simple supply and demand. I'm still holding that we can get to this $20 with ETFs with ease. I'm still betting on, we'll have a lot of little fun bets. I got one for $20 by Christmas. That's with the Fernando 5. Shout out to you, Fernando. And $100 with my executive producer, and then also $500 by the end of the year with Daniel G, the G-Man up in Chattanooga. So not by the end of the year, by the end of March. And again, if I'm wrong with the Clarity Act, I have to kind of push that back to like the end of June, because that is with banks using it. And that does not preclude that we could get a liquidity crisis, and that the XRP ledger would have to fill a liquidity crisis to settle trades on the stock market as well as DTC and SWIFT. All right, next Thursday. So it could happen in anywhere between now and then. Got a nice little window. Next Thursday, the fun begins when it comes to those goldfish hopping in. That's Canary Capital is the first one. He was on record at Swell saying they will launch on Thursday. We got 4 lining up. I think between the 13th and the 25th, there's at least 4, and there's a total of 9, not including the BlackRock ETF, which will be announced. And so yes, next Thursday, going to be so exciting to see those start to launch finally, and we'll see what it does to price. Also, I finally found an update on that Tangent card. I couldn't see it on their site about how you can actually have USDC on there and spend it in wherever you are, on Amazon, Walmart, and and buy a watch, buy a Lambo. Yes, you can. And guess what? Up on their site, it says that it will slowly, over this next month, you will see on your Tangent card that you can actually have USDC, and it's like a Visa, and you can actually spend it. That is insane. I'm so excited about that. That one goes up there. That's going to be a lot of fun when we hit the banana zone, because I always say we'll be house shopping, island hopping, and yacht shopping, and champagne popping. Kichiro Fukui. As we get into the very best for last and get a little long-winded, I got to continue to talk fast. This is a big episode. It says it won't be October, most likely end of November or 2 weeks into December. What is he talking about? The reset and that crash. He's saying it's there, and he says November is the shift to move from A to B. I see the shift happening. Comment down below. I want to know what you guys think. And also, this is in the comments from last night, but I put it at the very end for the best of last, because I absolutely love this, because it's so well spoken. This is from Lee Brown. Shout out to you, Lee. He says, if one really knew what he holds, or he or she holds, you would not have to convince them that XRP can reach $10,000. Damn well said. I appreciate that. That's 100%. That's retweet worthy. And Paul White Gold, to end this episode, this is really great. Paul White Gold up on X. He says the average human only needs to hold, wait for it, how much XRP does he need to hold to become a millionaire? I'll pause just for about like 10 seconds if you want to pop something in as far as a number, whether it's, I don't know, 1,000, 10,000, 100. Can you say 10? He says 10 XRP. That means XRP would be what? A 6-digit, $10,000, $100,000 XRP. He cites and goes on to say he's been holding since when he bought at 7 cents. Unbelievable. He bought at 7 cents, been a holder for quite some time. He said a long time ago, he spoke back with someone about it, and he says when XRP is carrying the bulk of currency transfers and the reset has happened, that's when you see XRP will reach 6 digits. Don't believe it is true. And the final, for the very best of last, to end, and we'll leave you on this episode, is from Skipper up on X. And he's actually leaves a comment, says XRP is going to 750 per Jay Claver. And he goes on to say, he says, $2 we'll never see again. And then he says a rise above, wait for it, get this, $35 to $50 by November 22nd. I would absolutely kiss the ground. I'm going to have one hell of a celebration with champagne if that were to happen. Be still my XRP beating heart. And then he says, of course, by the end of the year, he's citing Jake Claver's $750. Any way you slice it, even that $35, $50, that's a bigger boat. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.